Welcome back to Trading 360. I'm Diane King Hall. Time now for the big three. Three stocks, three charts, three trades. Rick Ducat will take us through the charts. And here to take us through the trades is Alan Knuckman, bullseyeoption.com. Great to talk to both of you. All right, Alan, let's start out big picture today. What stands out from the markets? We kick off this week. It's the last full trading week of the year because we've got two holiday shortened trading weeks in front of us after this.
Well, what we're seeing is some stocks that had been long forgotten. Now people are trying to find some value in them. And, we've had our leaders. The tech sector obviously made a big comeback. S&P didn't make new highs last week, so it had a bit of a pause. But we still have a lot more upside. 6,300 is that first target from that drop that we saw in August on that old top. But let's also remember that the VIX is 40% lower. The all-time low in the VIX is 40% lower. So there's a lot more upside in the S&P. If you project 40% higher from where we are now, 8,500 is the S&P target if this momentum continues and this trend does not end.
All right, and let's talk a little bit about, Alan, your first trade. You're looking at Weibo. Take us through that.
So I trade technically, and I follow a couple of things. I follow money flow. So I follow money flow in options because obviously that's a kind of a hidden money area to keep an eye on. I'm looking for leverage long accumulation by smart money. And I've been seeing that in Weibo. It's been trading here between 8 and 12 for 3 months. Breaker out of that range, target 16. It's above the 10 midpoint, which is a very important support pivot there to keep an eye on. This is a stock that's 60% off its 2023 top. And I don't really care about fundamentals. I trade the charts. And it's got a PE of 7, so it's got some value there to look at. I'm looking at an April option, an April 7.5 call, deep in the money, below that low. It's trading at 325. It's 250 or so in the money. I'm sorry, 275 in the money. It's got 4 months of time, so it's about math. It's a stock that's significantly off its highs, and it's making that bottom base that I look for. It's got that money flow. So someone smarter than me is positioning on the long side in this stock.
Okay, all right. Someone smarter than all of us, I suppose. And then, Rick, take us through the chart. And I never remember if it's pronounced Weibo or Weibo. So, Rick, take us through the chart here.
I'll leave that one to you. I'll just do the chart. So we can see here that the horizontal areas on this chart seem important here because we had, first of all, our green line here. We topped out around this level kind of repeatedly several times. Then we had our big breakout when the broader China sector was kind of showing some strength. We topped out here 1240. That gives us another downward sloping trend line. Kind of seems to have capped our gains for the most part. We did make these intraday highs at our previous level here, 1095, around 11, roughly Alan's break-even price for his trade there. So kind of looking for a push above this double top type high here. But nevertheless, you could say we're still kind of trending upward, maybe possibly depending on how you draw it, maybe kind of drifting sideways beyond an uptrend line, kind of still within the triangular boundary though. Our SI actually is a little disappointing though, perhaps for the bulls. You can see that we are breaking through to the downside from our green trend line. We are still in the bullish territory here, but maybe a little bit of a slowdown. You can also see that volume profile helps show our heavy trading areas, kind of a small area right around here near where we had these highs, also containing our +2 standard deviation channel near about 1070 or so. We can also see here and here, so maybe like 10 and maybe 950 would be some other notable volume areas to the downside. Also keep in mind very heavy volume during that run up here and a big spike here when we retested those highs, but not enough to get us to a breakout point here. So if we were to zoom in a little bit here, we can see that, well, we've got the upside points to watch. Our double top highs, like I said, near about 11. Then our +3 standard deviation channel is quite close to this level here, which is actually our best close. Despite it being a red candle, that was the best closing price, 1171. So around that point would be notable resistance to the downside here. This would be where many traders might be looking here. We had our gap. We have our +1 standard deviation channel, our yellow 21-day EMA, all around like 990, 970 or so between that point. Diane?
Okay, and the stock is under a little bit of pressure today. Let's pivot now and let's take a look at your next trade, Alan. That would be Unity. Stock is a little higher today. Tell us about your base case here.
Well, again, it's a stock that has not participated in the rally. It's 40% off its January top here. So you've been looking at a trade between 15 and 30 here recently for, since March. So for a while. So 22.5 was that midpoint that we popped up above. So we'll see if we can test the range top and then break out on this stock. A May option is the way I'm looking to play. A May 20 call, trading for about 725. So the break even is, about $2 higher. But with a May option, it has 5 months of time, a lot of time for development here. But again, the key for me is that money flow, as you're seeing that accumulation on the long side in the options market. So it's not just unusual option activity. This is a measurement of the actual accumulation, because with unusual options activity, you don't know whether it's a buy or a sell. It's at the bid or the ask. But my indicator is able to kind of give a code break and see that positioning being built. And that's something I want to piggyback on it, and I just want to follow the money.
Okay, and then Rick, what do you see when it comes to the chart for Unity?
Sure, and this is one of those charts where we had kind of a long gradual slide down. We had those highs all the way back there, 43.54. We bottomed out here near 13.90, and then we kind of had this gradual progression to the upside. We took out some of our moving averages here, but we kind of failed once again. That gives us this very modestly sloping blue trend line here. That gives us also the upper edge of our channel here. We had some kind of upside test, but we stopped short around 23, our green line. More recently, though, breaking out. We're breaking out above our purple 252-day exponential moving average. We are breaking out above our channel line, and we are holding support in our yellow 21-day exponential moving average. So things are perhaps looking decent despite the fact that we have broken through this upward sloping trend line. RSI also taking a bit of a hit here. We saw some bearish divergence in those highs, but we are maintaining above that 50 midline here. So perhaps look for a breakout beyond that red trend line there, that kind of downward sloping area for signs of further strength. Now to throw in volume profile, we can see, well, the bottom seems to have come in around here. Very heavy trading at these low levels. Another big area between about 20 to 22, heavy trading. Now we kind of seem like we maybe faltered a little bit here around 27. That was the next notable volume area. But as I said, we're kind of holding the support. So we could see things perhaps regroup here. And then up here, 33, 34, that's the next notable area. Now to kind of tie it all together, consider some support and resistance. Well, around 28.50, that was where I had the extreme high points here. If we went back a little further around here, those high close levels, that would put us more around Allen's break even, basically just looking for a push above this volume node and above these old highs here. +2 standard deviation channel comes in near 29, so that could be a resistance point to watch. To the downside, look to see if we eventually do break below our volume node here once again. A retreat back to that point of control could be pretty worrisome.
All right, and Alan, let's pivot over and talk about your final trade. Rivian is having a banner day today, but it has had a difficult year. So tell us what you're paying attention to when it comes to Rivian.
Well, again, it's money flow, and I follow what I see in the charts here. It's about risk reward is our theme for today. These are all stocks that really haven't participated in the rally. Rivian is above the 15 level. It had been trading between 10 and 15 for 4 months. Now it's broken out. So that target's 20 here. It's also 40% off the high from last December, more than a year ago right now. So anyways, I'm looking at the March option. The March 12.5 call is the midpoint of this sideways range that we've seen. That option was trading for 4 or so. And this is a stock that was back at 107 in 2021. I'm not looking for a big comeback, just a modest move of this in a reversal of this downtrend can produce big gains in the right options. So if this stock gets to 20, then our options gain about 100%.
Okay, all right. If that stock gets to 20, that'll be one to watch. But Rick, take us through the technicals. What does the chart look like for Rivian?
Poised for a potential upside breakout here. We can see that maybe we could be approaching a key point here, the old low close, and then the subsequent intraday high. You could see that we are kind of testing the waters above that area here. A big green candle, pretty high, close to the highs of the days, and looks to me like kind of no matter how you slice it, it seems like we're breaking out above a couple of the major trend lines you could draw. This high point over here, our 52-week high point, this intraday high all the way back here would give us our purple simple trend line here, and then connecting these subsequent lows, or you could also do it from our gap here. And then once again, connecting that same area kind of puts you about where we are now. Either way, we're pushing above this area right here, but stalling out at this resistance line. RSI showing a tiny bit of bearish divergence here once again, but still mostly in the overbought area and staying in tune with our trend line here. So we can also see now that volume nodes here kind of around this area, 15, 16, those are some points to watch. Then around 13 and then around 11 or so. Not really too terribly much above where we are, so beware of fast moving prices if we do get a breakout here. +2 channel comes in near 1739. Ultimately, this high point right here, you can see that was kind of a low point before we had a big collapse back in January, around 1880. So maybe around 19 would be interesting to watch. Look for support at this green line, series of highs and lows near about 13.
That makes sense, around 19 being interesting to watch, especially given what Alan said about the 20 level we're watching. Shares of Rivian up 5.5% today. Alan Knuckman and Rick Ducat, thank you both for the three stocks we're watching today.